What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys for tuning back in, man. I have a banger for you guys today. Well, a couple days. This is going to be more like a build series. We're going to be doing a build series on my 1999 Honda CR-V. We are going to be slapping a China Charger on this thing and sending it to the moon. So if you guys are familiar with me locally, then you guys know that I used to daily this car. I bought it back in February of 21, a little over 3.5 years of ownership. And man, this little thing has been a great vehicle. Although the day I did pick it up, I will say the passenger side axle popped out while driving this thing. So I did have to get it trailered home. And I did a lot of work after that. I put coilovers, True Heart coilovers, and completely redid the suspension already. I do have some new ball joints and stuff. We do have some new front end suspension pieces we are going to be throwing on this thing. Even though the pieces on it don't have many miles, they was just something cheap from the local parts store, so I kind of want to swap them out for something better. We do have a max speeding rods turbo setup for this thing, and we're going to try to see what she'll do. I do feel like that this will be a budget friendly way to enter the Honda turbo all-wheel drive scene. So I'm really excited about this, guys. Pop the hood here. We got interior shots. The interior on this thing is pretty clean. It does have a Civic cluster. For my CR-V guys, you guys know that that is not a CR-V cluster there. Android radio, 5-speed. It does have the table as well. JDM B20B. This thing has been a great motor, like I was saying. This thing runs fantastic. It's actually on a street tune that I did, and I've dailied it on the street tune for probably a little over 3 years, because I just recently parked this thing and started dailying my TL again. This thing does have a boosted fabrication front bar, and it does have the 2 rear bars. We are going to get some more boosted fabrication pieces. We're going to be losing the AC, which is a shame because it does work. We got some seals, valve cover. I got cam seals, oil pan gasket, of course. All kinds of gaskets. I got a new drive shaft. There's all kinds of parts, guys. I'll show you. Let's just get into it. Go ahead and get this thing fired up, which this thing fires right up, no issue. But let's go ahead and get this thing pulled into the shop, figure out where we're going to start on this thing. Honestly, I need to go through all my parts and see where we need to start on this thing. Huge exhaust leak, as you guys can tell. We're going to be taking care of all that. It's a good running little B20 though. All right, guys, so I did get a lot of these parts organized. I even found some parts that I didn't even know that I had. I was originally going to do a hood exit setup on this car, but now I'm not. This is a lot more parts, honestly, than I originally thought that I had. After getting this pile organized here, man, there's a lot of parts here. All right, guys, so here is a basic rundown of our parts. I'm going to start over here. Okay, so guys, starting out, spare turbo that we're probably not going to use, even if we do need to. We'll probably just get another max speeding rods. Rear diff, cross member. Got new little bushing coupler things. I forget what they're called. A new rear diff mount. We have an inline circuit breaker, and this is recommended on all battery relocation kits. We also have a feed through the firewall power junction, or I'm going to use it through the firewall. And then we also have wire. This is left over from my last battery relocation kit that I did on my old RX-7. Have a whole new package of some new wire. Hopefully that'll be enough. And we also have a MPC battery relocation kit. I am going to put that under the table in the back. And then we have a S2K adapter to adapt the RD1 CR-V to the S2000 Clutch Master. And then we have a new slave cylinder here. And then we have a new clutch fork spring, a new clutch fork stop, a new clutch fork. And then, guys, I'm probably going to catch a lot of hate for this, guys, but like I said, this is a budget setup. I have run these clutches before. However, whenever we do my H to B or a clutch on the TL, it will be a quality clutch. It is not going to be one of these guys. But I will say these things do work. Hopefully this one does. This is an XTD clutch, so an eBay special. These things do work. I have ran them on a single cam and another B series, and I wouldn't be surprised because this clutch is obviously aftermarket. I would not be surprised if it was one as well. But this is a stage 5, and yeah, guys, on the cheaper clutches, you kind of have to overshoot on the stages. This is a stage 5 XTD clutch. It's a 4-puck clutch disc. It is sprung. Did come with the 8-pound lightweight flywheel and all that good stuff as well. Obviously, that's overkill for what we're going for. It is just a stock B20B, but we do want to see kind of what this thing can do. So, I mean, I do kind of want to turn it up. I would really like to get about 300 horsepower out of this thing. I think that would feel really good in this thing, all-wheel drive. And then we do have a new set of black 1320 mounts for the RD1 CRV. This thing does already have aftermarket mounts on it, but a common problem with the aftermarket mounts on the RD1 is if they're not specifically, everybody uses EK mounts, and they will work. That is what these are, I'm assuming. But if you notice, the motor sets a little lower over here. It's setting too high here. I don't know if that's noticeable in the camera, guys, but in person, it is noticeable. The 1320 mount kit does correct that. If you guys have an RD1 and you guys have EK mounts, then you guys should hit up 1320 and grab these specific RD1 CRV motor mounts. But moving on, so we do have new radiator hoses. We got a Gates water pump, a 70 millimeter skunk tooth throttle body, a lot of Honda gaskets, a lot of new gaskets. We got new exhaust manifold gaskets, intake manifold gaskets, and that's OEM Honda. We got OEM Honda exhaust manifold gasket, which I might not use on this build. I'll probably just hold that off to the side and use the one that came with this 1320 kit. We have a Felpro oil pan gasket, a Malley valve cover gasket, a Gates timing belt kit, a Jack Spania catch can. And guys, if you guys are familiar with this catch can, you guys probably see these style catch cans all over the place. It's got a 4-port can on it. It's vent to atmosphere. It mounts and goes right where the battery goes. That is why we are relocating our battery to the back with the MPC kit. So, moving on from that, we have a glow shift boost gauge here, a Mishimoto big intercooler. I already know, like just looking at this thing, I already know I'm going to have trouble fitting this thing. It's going to be a real tight fit. Just a cheap new Amusa. These things, they're cheap. I've heard nothing but great things of these things for like first turbo builds and whatnot. Just trying to keep it budget, guys. Like I said, have the AEM wideband here, brand new. And that's why we have an AEM 340 fuel pump as well. Also, along with the fuel system, we have the Injector Nation 1000cc fuel injectors. And they're also, if you guys use HTS, you guys get a discount. So yeah, definitely hit up HTS and get the discount code for that. I can't remember what it is. And I got bungs for the valve cover and a bung for the oil pan. We got new V-bands. Then we have a turbo oil drain and feed line in here, guys. I also have a bunch of 3-inch pie cuts, 3-inch exhaust. Also have the wastegate exhaust piping as well with the pie cuts for that as well, guys. Like I said, guys, there's a lot of parts here. I mean, we really almost have everything to do this. We do have a used steering rack. This thing supposedly has 106,000 miles on it. So we're going to throw that in here because mine is shot. I have new rear axles here. We got new inner and outer tie rods along with the poly rack bushings. And then we have the Movotech TTX Extreme lower ball joints. I run those on my TLS. These are good ball joints. And then we have the new True Heart upper control arms. I also have a whole power steering setup in here, guys. I don't know if I'm going to be able to use it with the turbo setup. I'm hoping so. I don't see really why not, but I haven't turboed one of these, so I really don't know. So I'm just going to have to get the turbo mocked on there and really just see how everything fits. A bunch of just random intercooler piping and a down pipe. We're probably not going to use this piping, guys. Some of the piping on this in the bins is a little small for my liking, like right here, compared to that. is a big difference, guys. So we're probably not going to run that. I'm probably just going to order a whole new intercooler kit. Max Speeding Rods Turbo, we're going to see what she can do.
Yeah, boy.
GT3582. So yeah, guys, that's kind of a bigger frame turbo for the stock B20, but we're going to try to send this thing to the moon, baby, you know. With the knockoff ram horn, you already know. But like I said, guys, we're trying to keep this budget. I bought the kit, the used kit, all the piping and the manifold, turbo, intercooler. Yeah, that's really it, guys. I got that stuff for $800. So basically everything else is out of pocket. But let's go ahead and get started on this thing. We're going to pull this exhaust off, pull the AC off, pull all these lines out, and very carefully, because we are going to keep all this stuff. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to go ahead and do the most important thing first and get this thing mocked up on the car. So to do that, again, guys, I do not believe that this is a AC friendly kit. I highly doubt it. I do believe that on the AC friendly kit, the flange on the manifold is turned some. We're going to go ahead, and I've already drained the Freon. I've removed the radiator. I did all that. So I'm going to drop the exhaust. We're going to pull the AC, all the lines. I'm also going to keep all of this because at a later date, I would like to have a turbo kit on this thing where the AC does work, you know, because it does get hot and I do like my AC. So for right now, guys, this is just going to be a budget all-wheel drive CRV setup. Like I said, guys, the car is pretty clean, so I feel like it's a really good candidate to get started here with something like this. So we're going to go ahead and hop right into it. Like I said, guys, I'm going to drop the exhaust, pull the AC off. I'm going to pull the battery and the battery tray. We're going to go ahead and mount the turbo manifold with the turbo on and just kind of see roughly how everything's going to mock up.
Splice Original.
Well, guys, I thought I had the Freon all drained from this thing. Turns out, no, I did not. I took them loose. Man, that thing popped. Man, that scared the shit out of me. Another thing I need is an exhaust manifold hardware kit. Look at all these different studs and all the different nuts. I mean, this is, ew. Yeah. I also went ahead and pulled this boosted fabrication bar off. We're probably going to go ahead and touch this thing up while it's off. You can see we got a little bit of surface rust there, and this thing got a little beat up. As you can tell, I kind of scrape here and there. Only problem is I would powder coat this, guys, but I do not think, yeah, it's definitely not going to fit in the oven. I definitely just have to do a good spray paint job on this. Pull the exhaust off. Just chopped it right off. It's junk anyway. This thing had 1,000 leaks. And I guess somebody thought they was gonna make a skid plate. Look at them welds. So yeah, that thing is junk. Go ahead and get the turbo on here. I just wanna see how she looks on there. I can't wait any longer. All right, guys, got the turbo on, and shoo, boys, she looks good in there. I do like the ram horn setups, you know, because it's kind of like an iconic, like throwback Honda setup. You know, a lot of guys used to run these, but man, I really, really like how the top mount really shows the turbo. You know, it really sets it up top, front and center. I mean, this is cool too. We're going to run it. Actually, should I say better? We're going to send it. It does seem to fit pretty good. However, it definitely does look like it probably wouldn't have worked with the AC. If it would have been a very tight fit. You maybe could have clocked this turbo a certain crazy way and got it to work. I still really don't think so. Maybe power steering might work. Maybe. I don't know. We're going to see. We're going to find out. Whoa! Yeah. God, guys, this thing is going to look tough. The camera really doesn't do this thing justice. It is going to look really good with that intercooler up there. But we got this mocked up, guys. I do need to find a place for the harness. I do need to relocate that. Just by looking, I think I'm going to run it under this lip here. I'm not 100% certain on that, though. Really, it's probably going to set more like this. Like I say, guys, the harness is kind of in the way here. But anyway, we're going to move all that. This is just a test fit. I do need to put a steering rack in this thing. I do have this a new steering rack. Well, not a new one, but I do have a used steering rack right here that we're going to throw in this thing, guys. I don't know if I'll record much of that. I might. But all right, guys, so that was just a mock-up. Basically, that's just to get me motivated here. Because like I said, guys, we do have a lot of stuff to do here, guys. There's a lot of work here. I do want to go ahead and get started on doing all the cool stuff. You know, this is all the cool stuff here. Steering rack replacement, not so cool, guys. So I'm probably not going to be recording much of that. This has got me hype. I'm super excited for this build, guys. I still have a couple videos I need to edit on the TL. I still have another couple videos that I need to edit as well. So I'm trying to keep this short and simple on the intro. This should get you excited, guys. Definitely, if you guys are not subscribed, definitely hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you guys are notified every single time that I upload. You guys are not going to want to miss these next uploads. Thank you guys for checking out the channel, man. I really appreciate it. Stay tuned. Like I said, guys, I'm going to have some bangers for you boys. I'm telling you. So stay tuned. Peace.